Hey everybody, Paul McFarlane here again, beep, with something very special from the Chiat Rizzoli book. Something I've talked about before, which is Nike. And it's not so much the actual great work of the billboards that they did. Or they did across the highway. But what was said about it, and a little inside story, again courtesy of the great Stephen Kessler, who wrote this, who interviewed this, transcribed this, and put it in the book. What's it like to work with Nike? What it was like then, and what I'm sure, I trust, it is like now. I quote, Nike was very vocal. A lot of arguing and screaming and yelling. They were an authentic athletic brand, and that was their strength and their roots. And yes, you could be cool, and you could even be unexpected and do neat stuff, but it had to come from your roots, as I always talk about today, more important than ever. In social media and everything, I'm not certain about the future, about anything. Who are you as a business and a brand? Who are you at your essence? What do you do? Why do you do it? Simplify it, distill it, own it, and stay there. Stay there. Nike did it. You can too. You can do anything if it's true to your roots, true to your essence. Dreaming unrelated, crazy dreams that doesn't come from your roots is a mistake and lazy. Doing something that's creative, oh, look at this, look at this, look at this, it's fun, isn't it, isn't it? And going with it, if it doesn't come from your roots, is throwing your money away for a temporary, but nothing long-term, galvanizing the love, the fandom, the power of what a brand can be. One more example. This is a little bit longer. This is the story of something that not unlike what I went through when I saw my first one of these billboards. Listen up. Quote, I'm talking to some guy at UCLA and he said, what do you do? And I said, I work for an advertising agency. He said, I was just driving here on the 405 and I saw a billboard, and I've never done this in my life before. I got off on the exit because it just went by so fast that it caught me as I went back so I could see it again, and it was a billboard for Nike. And he said, I didn't know what it was at first because the logo was so small. He said, do you have any idea who's doing that? I said, yeah, that's the agency that I work for. That's when it occurred to me that something I'd done was striking a chord. Do you understand? Are you getting what I just read to you? Are you getting the idea that an ad, in this case, a billboard on the highway, or two parts of it stretched across the highway, was enough to get even one person, but I promise you, it was more than one person, who actually stopped and pulled off the highway to go back and look at it again because something had caught them. In this case, as deceptively simple as this may be, someone saw an ad that didn't look like an ad because the logo was so small and it didn't say anything. It disturbed this man or woman. It disturbed a human being by, yes, fucking disrupting the status quo. Are you getting this? When you do something that is so different in any medium, on any media platform, that is so different that it stops someone, Do you realize what an economically triumphant moment that is? Whatever the client spent on the agency, whatever the client spent on the media buy, whatever the client spent on creating that ad is nothing compared to the power of the impact of deciding to be different. But remember, that difference was not an unrelated shiny object. It wasn't a momentary distraction or a blip of the moment or what everyone's doing on TikTok right now with 47 things all popping all over the screen and their face distorted and pasted in eyeballs that everyone's doing. It was doing something that was true to the brand. To take an awareness that someone had of Nike and to deepen it. To deepen it and make it more compelling, more resonant, more powerful. It's not easy to do, but it's simple. Anyone could do it, but almost no one does do it. That Nike work and the impact it made, because they argued and screamed with Nike all the time because Nike cares, and they're very distrustful of an agency. That's why I stayed with White and Kennedy for so long. They get a continuity because they know who they are, and White and Kennedy understands who they are. But at that time, Chiat understood who they were, and they knew that it had to come from their athletic roots and their viewpoint on athletics. Everything they did came directly from that. And when you do that and you differentiate like that, you can do anything. Remember, unrelated, pointless, meaningless creativity of the moment bloop, comes and goes. And if you want to be a shark that can never sleep and keep swimming, be my guest. But if you want to make your advertising dollar go a lot farther, be like Nike, be like Chiat.